one person who says that Spanberger should just focus on Virginia and not what's going on with the Trump administration is former governor and the first black governor in Virginia's history. We're talking about L. Douglas Wilder. He was there. You heard her talk about him say that him celebrating, his 95th birthday on the day of the inauguration. And our Janet Roach actually sat down with him prior to that historic ceremony and talked about a variety of different things when it comes to this new administration, including, what he thinks she should do. And is he surprised that it took so long to have the first woman to be in this seat? We're going to play that interview with you again here between Janet Roach and former Governor L. Douglas Wilder.
Do you still think about that day quite a bit?
On occasions, I'm reminded of what it meant to so many people, because I didn't look upon it as, and I don't today look upon it as an election for me, but it was an election for people. It was the coldest day in the year, as you know. And I looked at the young children who were there with their parents, standing in line in that freezing weather, because it was freezing weather. And I run into them now, and on occasion they said, I was there and I saw it. And so I looked upon it as truly an election for Virginia. It showed where Virginia did lead in terms of being the first colonization in America, notwithstanding what Massachusetts pledged, but it's to show how far we have come. And yet, I hasten to add, this does not mean that we've come as far as we need to go.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean. So you made history, and Saturday history will be made again. Are you surprised at how long it took for a woman to be elected governor of Virginia?
Not really, because if I were not here to witness the campaigns and to know what was taking place, I might be, because you could say, well, Virginia's proven and shown that there's not that degree of animosity racially or sexually or any other way. But when you consider that different people bring different things to the fore, and different people campaigned differently, and just because you're black doesn't mean you're going to get elected, and just because you're a female candidate doesn't mean. So it takes a lot of things. And in this instance, Abigail was fortunate enough to have had the experience to know Virginia. She likewise had the experience to know what she needed to win Virginia, and she brought it forth. This doesn't mean that others might not have been there before she got there. But it doesn't mean that there was this animosity against women being elected, if that were the case.
Okay. So she has a big job before her.
Yes.
What would be your advice for, what she needs to focus on and some of the challenges that she needs to be prepared for?
Well, you start off with money, and that's where you're going to end up with money. You can't do anything without it. As you know, I started off broke. Lots of people have forgotten that, but we were $250 million in the hole when I got elected. $250 million in the hole. Governor Youngkin has already, so I created a reserve fund and called it the Rainy Day Fund. And I went further by putting the first $250 million in that fund. But I had it embedded into the Constitution, which means that if you go into that fund to take any money out, the very first next thing you do is to put the money back once you recover and get back. So that fund has been available for Governor Young this time. Of course, he's not said it as such, but when it had to be approved by the legislature, and the legislature said they had to go into the reserve fund. So I really feel good by knowing that Virginia sound. She's going to have a sound Commonwealth to run. However, this doesn't mean that everything will be funded as it should be. One of the things that I speak about on a regular basis is the funding for historically Black colleges and universities. Now, but there's only one that comes to mind, and that's as far as the state is concerned, that's Virginia State. But I'm speaking about historical Black colleges and universities. And we have had the current Attorney General, Jason Miyares. He has ruled that the state is not prohibited from providing monies to historical Black colleges and universities, whether they're state universities or not. Reason I have written a post on it and published this week saying that they were private institutions called so, like Virginia Union or St. Paul, because they couldn't get a charter unless they were required to say they're private, so the state wouldn't have to take care of them. That's no longer applicable. And that's one of the things that I want her to do. And I'm quite certain she's committed to doing it, to look, to see, and to know that all schools should be treated to the extent of helping where help is needed. And I'm confident she's going to be doing it.
What is the challenge that she's going to have working with the Trump administration? I mean, as we see, it does appear that he is certainly less cooperative when it comes to a state that is led by Democrats. We have 3 Democrats coming in. Is that going to present even, more challenges for her than what she normally would have to deal with, in dealing with the federal government?
Well, she's not going to be looking to Trump for too much. I don't know what he would be doing for her. Now, to the extent that the government is required to fund certain programs, he could try to slow those down. But we've got people in the Congress. We've got people that represent Virginia. As a matter of fact, Barbara Scott, as you know, is the chairman of the Committee on Education, Health, and Welfare. And so I wouldn't be expecting her to be halted by Trump, because if that appears to be the case, we have ways to deal with that. On the other hand, I don't think she should get involved with the Trump measure, like so many states are doing now. Trump this, Trump that, Trump. Let him do what he's got to do. He's going to be gone. Run the state of Virginia. Get our education straight. Get our public safety straight. Make certain that health care is provided, and make certain that those who don't have an opportunity. The current administration doesn't want people to even focus on what was not. Oh, it's a great pride, DEI is dead. They don't even know what diversity, equity, inclusion means.
So hopefully you enjoyed that conversation between our own Janet Roach and former governor there, L. Douglas Wilder. Again, 95 years old he turned over this weekend, and you can hear his thoughts and wisdom that he was sharing there for the now governor, who in her own right is a first in the history of the Commonwealth.